Hello. The date, Friday, May 13th, 2011. Looking back out on NHK World. Reporting back from the last posting I made was regarding this plan to install air filtrations and go in and do work on the reactor 1. And apparently a lot has changed since that posting I made. And the situation's a little more serious than we were being told, apparently now. Um, TEPCO is saying that in reactor 1, the water level has fallen all the way down below the fuel rods, 1 meter below the fuel rods, and the actual fuel rods have melted down into the bottom of the pressure vessel. So, and maybe it's bore a hole through the bottom of that, and it's leaking radioactive water, maybe material directly from the pressure vessel into the dry well, the bottom of that. And so this idea of pumping all this water in there as they're cooling, their method to cool the reactor and stabilize it is not the best idea. So it's developing daily. I don't know. They're still trying to create this illusion that they're in control and they're stabilized. They've stabilized this situation. Now, my question is, I suppose, if you're going to stabilize it with a little bit of water over the melted fuel at the bottom of the pressure vessel, is what I'm gathering from what I'm reading, from what's being reported out of Japan. Again, that, I need to take that with a grain of salt because apparently they don't share all the information. We can't see a video, a live feed of what they're actually doing there with injecting water and all that. But this idea of just completely flooding things and keeping everything cool by flooding reactors and injecting water is, they're starting to even themselves kind of question that. There's been some new images of what's gone on here with the fuel rods, and so they show this little melted clump of fuel rods at the bottom of the pressure vessel, and apparently they're saying there's a hole in the bottom here is what they're thinking is why they can keep trying to get water in and it doesn't ever rise. In fact, it's dropped. And so they're assuming that they've got this full core meltdown. And I guess my question is, can this little bit of water really keep it cool and stabilized? They claim it's at a cool, stabilized, or close to that state now, and this is going to be enough. We'll just keep pumping water in here. But if you have radioactive material in this area and you're going to try to circulate that too, that may be a problem. It's not just clean fresh water that you're circulating. So I guess we'll find out. I don't know. It just gets worse and worse, in my opinion. They're claiming they've got control over the situation in a way, but it looks like it's controlling them. This idea of this water injection strategy is something I do think they need to think about, because where is it all going? It'd be one thing if they had a pump for all the water they're pumping into the reactors. And I'm not talking about just one. I'm talking about reactor 2, reactor 3, and the spent fuel pools. And excuse me. Where's all the water going to go that they're pumping? It's not being purified or uncontaminated and circulated. It's just going into the basements, into the groundwater, into the sea, into, leaking through these buildings that have been rocked by several earthquakes, a tsunami, explosions. But yeah, I mean, if they think they've got it under control, then I guess my definition of a stabilized nuclear reactor and their definition of a stabilized nuclear reactor are two different things. So we'll see. We'll find out. I'm sure this is going to probably change. Apparently, I thought they were supposed to have a new plan. Now, over the weekend, I did see they had looked like a huge fire at Reactor 3 that was never reported by anybody. It was on this JNN live feed for Fukushima. There were some people who captured that. And yeah, apparently something happened. It was at nighttime. But I haven't seen too much more information about what's going on with Reactor 3. I know they've reported, TEPCO reported the radiation levels are just skyrocketing everywhere in that unit, in and around it. Reactor 2 I haven't heard anything about really a lot lately. I know it wasn't doing very well either. I know 2 and 3 aren't able to hold any water when they inject it into their dry well areas, or however they're getting it in there. God, it'd be nice just to see a video of it. I'm not sure what the secret is there, but okay, so spent fuel pool, spent fuel pool. Spent fuel pool in reactor 4 is questionable anymore. That just seems to be bad news every time they speak of that. And the unit, the walls are leaning apparently in that unit. You can see that on that JNN live feed. But the big concern for TEPCO, at least, seems to be reactor number 1. They keep talking about what they're going to do with that, and now I think we know that they're never going to restore the cooling systems. There's nothing left to restore inside the pressure vessel where the cooling systems circulate the coolant. That's the fuel's not there anymore. It's down below, and even if they got the cooling systems working again, down here there's nothing in there that really. It's not really designed to be down in there circulating around a clump of melted fuel rods. I don't know. And if they got a leak there, then the next thing is the melt down through the concrete into the ground. Anyway, I'll get back here soon, hopefully. Take care, everybody. Bye.